Point of no return, point of no return. Welcome back, man. We know too much, man. We've been through too much, man. We done seen too much. We are experiencing far too much. God done revealed himself to us over and over again for us to go back to the way we used to be, the way we used to think, react, and respond to life, man. It's your Holy Ghost homeboy Slim, SLIMM, simply living in my moment, which means yesterday is gone. Tomorrow's never promised. So all you have is right now, this moment, and I hope you fully living in yours because I'm fully living in mine, man. Just back with another quick word, man. Stay on point, man. God is giving you things that is only meant for you to have, handle, and be responsible for, and to oversee and to manage. I know when I was younger and working in corporate America, I had to learn this the hard way. I was elevated to, supervisor, head, not just supervisor, but head supervisor over the day shift at this group home I was working at. I had other supervisors that were under me, but I didn't want them to feel like they didn't have less of a say or less of a role because I was a head supervisor. So I made the decision to make everybody equals, right? But that was a mistake. I end up losing my position because they conspired against me and did all things behind my back. Once they figured out that I was really good at the job, I was really meant to be doing what I was doing. I was actually making a difference, making a change. I was standing on my own. I couldn't be controlled, manipulated, tricked. I couldn't be led to do anything I didn't want to do. Once I wake up and once I made my mind up who I was and what I stood for and what I wanted to be, then I was actually using my position for good and to help those kids that was under our care. Those people were not there to work. They were there to live a second life, to have another narrative, another storyline going on outside of their home. A lot of people come to work and they live these fantasies at work, whether they're these 8 hours, 12 hours, 16 hours, whatever you work, they live these fantasies. They have work husbands and work wives and all type of stuff going on. And I was trying to escape from the circus and actually focus on the job and do what I, was meant to do. And I really love that job. And like I say, once I elevated people the same stature, now they got the same say, they got the same pull, they got the same power, same control. So I couldn't take away their, position once I gave it to them. And like I said, I ended up losing it because I didn't do what I was supposed to do with it. I didn't appreciate my elevation. I didn't understand that my separation from the pack was a good thing. You are being made the head. You are being elevated to king status. You are the one. You on point. You feel me? Everything has to go through you, flow through you, has to be made by you, has to be visualized and conceived by you, has to be executed by you. And it's because you have everything it takes in order to make this particular vision, dream, promise, covenant that God has for you come true. It's the only way you can manifest it is because you have everything that it takes in order to bring it forth, from the tangibles to the intangibles, right? You try to do this thing I'm doing right now. I tried to do this thing with people years ago. Like I said, I was with a label 10 years and doing everything I thought I was supposed to do as an artist and as a future executive and writer and all these things that I'm doing now. I thought I was doing everything that I was supposed to do and really being there for my team and really being there for whoever came through those studio doors. I was assisting, I was writing, I was recording, I was producing, I was shooting videos, I was singing hooks, I was giving advice, I was advertising, I was marketing, I was acting, I was in front of the camera, behind the camera. I'm giving people their lines, like whatever needed to be done, I did it. And I tried to share this vision and this dream with the people that I was with. And it ended up not working out because they didn't see the same thing. They didn't feel the same thing. And even if they did see the same thing, everybody don't have the right intent. When you be doing things out of the kindness and out of the pureness of your heart and just being the person that you are, other people do things for an agenda, for a reason, and they doing things to tilt the scales in their favor. You doing things because God is leading you to do these things. So when people see like you got all this, you got all this attention, you getting all this talent, you got all these gifts, and you're not being arrogant, you're not really popping it. You're not really out here acting out of turn or acting out of character just because you got some type of favoritism with the people. You know what I'm saying? You staying down, you staying realistic, you staying positive, you staying low key, you staying behind the scenes. You don't even want everything, all the extras. You just want to be able to make it for yourself and for others, right? But in order to do that, you gotta be on point. You gotta be the point man. And it's because you universal. You understand everybody, so you could listen to everybody. You could listen to everything. You could look at situations. You could look at people. You could look at perspectives and take yourself out the equation and make a decision and give advice and tell people the best thing, the righteous thing to do, not based on from what you feel or even for what they feel. You listening to what God's saying as you listen to their situation. It's like you relaying the message, you relaying the sentiments, and then God is giving you what to say back in order to get them in the right direction to continue to make decisions that's going to be a blessing to them and that's going to continue to keep them on the right path and keep them in the right mind state. Excuse me. But yeah, so you just got to stay on point. You got to stay comfortable with being where you are, with being the front, being the center, receiving the attention, receiving the praise, receiving the accolades. Because I remember, bro, like I even when I played basketball, I was a point guard. I was responsible for everything. I had to learn not just the play, but I had to learn the same play from every single position. You know what I'm saying? All 5 positions. I had to be the one with the eyes and seeing things before they happen, directing traffic, even on defense, like understanding how to communicate, when to switch, when to open up, when to stay, when to fight over the screen. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was a lot that I was responsible for. And then not only was I responsible for me scoring the ball, I was also responsible for putting my players in the position that was most beneficial to them so they can have an efficient time at scoring. I want to put them in spots that they favor, spots that they like, so they have more of a chance of being successful at making a shot and hit their mark. So I had to get comfortable with different personalities. I had to get comfortable with different ways of looking at the game. I had to get comfortable with being able to deliver the ball to different people in variety of ways. Some people like bounce passes, some people like lobs, some people like straight chest passes, some people like, you know what I'm saying, trick pass. You know, it just depends on who I was passing the ball to, but I'm doing this all in real time, reading the situation, reacting, responding appropriately, and it was being on point. I told you, when I was in school, I was always on point. Doing class projects, you got to speak, you got to do this. And I was all the way to college. That's all the way when I was in corporate America, being the one to go present, to go do this. So it was like I was shying away from my purpose. I was shying away from my power. I was shying away from my position. And then I would wonder why I'm not supervisor, why I'm not this, because every time I get elevated, I try to give my stuff and share my stuff with other people that don't appreciate it the way that you do. And everything that you get and receive is not meant for other people. So God is trying to give you some, but he's trying to make sure that you're going to treat it the right way. And it's not being selfish, it's being responsible, because you can give 2 people, you know, millions of dollars, and you give them enough money to sustain, you know, lifetimes. And if you got 2 different perspectives, one might go budget, save, put something up, invest, you know what I'm saying, do what he got to do, make sure all the bills is paid up, make sure they ain't got no debt, all these things, insurance, life insurance, all these things. And then you got another one that might go splurge, might buy everything that they want and dream and never thought they, you know, needed in order to make them feel like something. But then look at the way the money is being used, is being spent. Look at fireworks, man. Somebody's created gunpowder, you feel me, in a sense, to make fireworks. Somebody took that same thing that they use at celebrations, weddings, all these things, parades, holidays, and things like that. They put it in a weapon, and then they use that to kill people. And then look where we are today. The same resources, the same tools, the same life, the same 24 hours, the same God, the same opportunities to be saved. Like, we have this opportunity as something great, but a lot of people don't realize who they are and what they have and what they put here to do. So they waste their power, they waste their prestige on other people. They dumb themselves down, they less themselves down in order to fit in to somebody who don't even love you, who don't even care about you, you know what I'm saying? Because once they're done with you, they're gonna spit you out and go on to the next. So I had to learn that when God give you something, really, really appreciate it. Really, really understand that every lesson that you get, every gift that you get, everything that you get from God is personalized and tailor-made specifically for you and your situation, your life, your loved ones. You know, no matter what it is, like it's made for not only to bring a fulfillment and enjoyment to your life, but it's also there to bring substance, and it's there to bring a foundation. It's there to bring something that you could build upon so you can save and you can have an abundance and an overflow, enough for, you know, days and days to come, and enough to bless other people. But you got to stay on point. So you got to stay prepared. You got to stay aligned. You got to stay organized. You got to stay ready to do what it is that you have to do. If somebody called me today, right now, ready to go to the studio, ready to go on set, I'm ready. I got the lines memorized. I got my raps pretty much in the bank. I got my beats picked out. I got my track list already in order. As I'm writing my book, I got my chapters laid out. I got my characters written out. I got dialogue. I got everything that I need in order to stay on point. I got things in a specific way, in a specific place, in specific bags. You know what I'm saying? I'm on point, and then I have my team, and I'm able to delegate appropriate responsibilities to each person, because you do need a team. But the main responsibility, the main weight, the main burden, the main problem, it should be carried by you. You're the point man. So you can't give all this stuff away, and then when you get the blessings, when you get the praise, when you get the accolades, when you get the money, then you want to keep it all to yourself. But you got other people doing the work for you. It's a lot of people that's doing that just because they got a name, they got a brand. Now they get a bunch of people under their umbrella, and then they take from these other people and then put their name attached to it. You know what I'm saying? And then they expect people to just continue to work and labor for free, or next to nothing. And then you don't even get the recognition that you deserve for your ideas, for the products that you put forth. You know what I'm saying? So it's been a lot of situations to where you was trusting people. You had OGs, you had mentors, you had people that you looked up to, and then they all took advantage of you in one way or another, or the relationship changed as you elevate in your mind, as you elevate in your spirit, as you elevate physically, as you elevate in your soul, as you elevate in your walk with Christ. You become more knowing, and you start to step into your own, and then you don't become the student, you become the teacher. You become the master, and you're supposed to be able to teach other people to do the same cycle. But what happens is that cycle gets interrupted because the people who usually teaching people, they want them to stay at a certain level of intelligence, because they want you to always be in a position to come ask them. You know what I'm saying? They don't ever want you to know more than them, because they're going to feel not necessary, or they going to feel like they light is going down a little bit because your light is turning up. Just because my light turn up don't mean that yours got to turn down. Just because yours turn up don't mean that I got to turn down. It ain't got nothing to do with each other unless we feed each other. You know what I'm saying? And we supposed to be doing well to each other. We supposed to be doing right by each other. So once you're able to be in a position to now you can call shots, you can make moves, that's what you got to do. But you got to be ready for the accountability and the responsibility that comes with that. You got to be ready to think for other people. You got to be ready to make decisions, not just for yourself or your families, but for the people that you got behind you and the families that you got behind them. That's all dependent on you. You feel me? You got to make decisions for everybody. Like, you got to think like you driving on the highway. You're not just driving for yourself. You driving for the next car in front of you, behind you, on both sides, on the other side of the road too. You trying to be the one keeping the right distance, the right pace, all these things, being on point. So God has chosen you to lead and to be the point man, but you got to stay on point in order to be that point man. You know what I'm saying? Don't get caught slipping. Don't get caught being unprepared. Don't get caught with your pants down. Don't get caught with your hand in the cookie jar doing things that you're not supposed to do, because again, you don't know when God is going to show up and bless you. But if he decides to show up right now, right at this moment, are you doing something? Are you saying something that is worthy of him listening on and seeing what you're doing, and hear, be able to see you and listening and be like, okay, I'm about to give you this blessing. Are you in that posture right now to receive whatever it is that you're asking for? And if you're not, get right. Get right, because every moment that you're not, that's an opportunity that you're missing, the opportunity for God to bless you. You know what I'm saying? So you just got to stay on point, man, because you're the point, man. Till next time, Slim.